Hi, this is Rob Leo, and in this brief tutorial, we're going to take a look at creating our own PowToon. In the previous video, you saw how to get started logging in with Google. You saw how to access your account. What we'll do now is start from scratch. You saw how you can customize a popular template to get started or build your own story scene by scene. We're just going to start from scratch and build our own PowToon from the bottom up. One of the first things we have to do is choose a look for our Powtoon. I'm going to select the cartoon pack. You can see it has a bunch of different characters that come with it. Some of these are pay for, some of them are free. With your free account, you want to select the free elements. And if you do select something that has some premium tools, Powtoon will let you know, and you can quickly and easily remove them. Notice when I land here, I've got one slide to get started, and I got all sorts of options on the right-hand side of the screen. If you prefer, you can start with your own, with adding a scene from their templates. If you choose to, you can click the triangle, and you can kind of see what they have available. So let's say I want to use the classroom scene. Notice I get the pop-up that says, "Whoops, this Powtoon contains premium items." I can either upgrade or remove all premium items. We're just going to click Remove All Premium Items. If I don't want to start with one of their scenes, I can start with my own background. So if I want to start with adding my own slide, notice it duplicated the scene. But if I choose to, I could select a different background. And let's say I just want to choose a color, and that will automatically change it for me. Notice if I add a slide now, I'm also getting the same background color. But again, if you want to change that, you can just change it back to white. You can also upload your own background, or you can choose from your media. So if you want to have your own custom picture to act as a background for your story, you certainly could do that as well. And again, when I click Add Slide, it will duplicate the slide's background as I move forward. But again, it's just a matter of clicking on it and then selecting a different color to be the background. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to delete this one as well. You could just edit the text if you wanted to, but I just want to show you how to get started from scratch. So you've got scenes, you've got backgrounds. Let's just start by adding some text to your slide. And what we'll do is we'll start with a title and subtitle and body text, but notice here as well, there are all sorts of different designs you can choose from. Again, some are free, some are paid for. Half the fun is finding something you like. I'm just going to click a title. And as I'm typing, you notice that there is a bunch of options for me to manipulate my text. I could change the fonts, for example. And as you scroll through, again, you get lots of choices. You can change the font size, clicking the minus sign or the plus sign to make it larger or smaller. You can decide if you want it bold, italicized, underlined. You can decide if you want it left justified, center justified, right justified. You can change the color. You can even add your own custom colors if you choose to. You go back to the gear. You can decide how the opacity is going to look. Meaning you can make it more translucent if you'd like to. You can also add some special effects. So if I wanted this to be handwritten, for example, or if I want it to come in word by word, you can kind of see that as you preview your slide. You can also arrange it, so if you want to move stuff forward or send stuff back, you can also add links to it, so it goes to a website, or you can let it fly in or fly out, and we'll show you that in just a moment. Let's just stick with this simple bit of text right now. I've got a 10-second slide. Notice from 0 seconds all the way up to 10 seconds. I don't think I need a full 10 seconds to introduce the word Powtoon, so let me just click the minus sign, and you can see that it is now a 6-second slide. Notice as well, I've got a little pencil at the beginning of my timeline, and I've got a different icon on the end of my timeline. When I click the pencil, that allows me to decide how I want this to enter onto my scene. When I click the arrow at the bottom, I can see how it's going to exit my scene. Let's make this one fly down. So notice it adjusted my 6-second slide. When I go to preview this, I'm just going to drag this black triangle all the way to the beginning and press play. I told it to be handwritten. I told it to last for 6 seconds. And I told it to exit the slide by going down. Let's go back to this same slide, PowToon is here. It just enters the scene at about a half a second in. You can see 0 seconds and 1 second. If I wanted this to enter the scene a little bit later, I can drag it and place it where I'd like on the timeline. I'd like to keep it here at the beginning, but let me add more text. This time let me add subtitle text. Notice you can drag the handles. You can make it all one line if you choose to. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's edit this text now. What I want this to do is to have a special effect. You already saw how to change the font and the font size and all that. Let's take a look at this A to B. And let's make this start on the top of my screen. And then let's make it finish on the bottom of the screen or middle of the screen. And let's preview what this looks like. Notice this will come in at about 1.5 seconds. Let me drag this over to 2 seconds just so you can see the effect. And when I press play now, half a second, I handwrite, and then I've animated my text to come down where I want it to land. My next slide is a 10-second slide, and it's already playing. If you prefer, you could also add different text overlays or text elements. So let's say you want to use some infographics, for example, on your slide. It's just a matter of selecting one you like and clicking on it, and that will put that onto your slide, and you could edit that text and change what it looks like. So insert your text here. You could have an A, B, and C, and it already takes care of the graphics for you. If you don't want something like that on your slide, you can always use the undo button, or you can select it and click backspace or delete on your keyboard. Notice again, I don't see all the stuff that's on my slide, but notice my timeline. I've got the marker here where where it is on that slide, but notice at 2 seconds in, my other text appears. And if I wanted to see it, I certainly could. So just to recap, we talked about adding scenes, prepackaged templates. We talked about adding backgrounds or changing backgrounds as you move forward. The main point of this, though, is showing you how to use text and then to edit that text to make it do what you want and make it look the way you want. Half the fun is playing around. And when we come back, we'll continue to build this presentation by adding more elements, including characters and objects. Thanks for listening.